Hi guys, today we're going to speak to you about a bunch of things we think you should stop paying for today. Like literally, after watching this video, you should ask yourself, should I be paying for these costs or not? Should I even bother paying for them at all? My name's Ken.
And I'm Mary.
Of the Humble Penny and Financial Joy Academy. And what we do on this channel is give you the tips, the insights, the practical hacks to help you work towards a dream life of financial independence and money joy. So stick with us as we now explore these things we believe you should absolutely stop paying for today.
Okay, so the first one is TV subscriptions.
Oh yes.
There are some people who have multiple subscriptions,
Yep.
and you really need to ask yourself, do you need more than one subscription?
Yeah.
Do you even have time to watch all these things that you're paying
Yeah.
for? For example, some people have Netflix, cable, Sky, what else? On top of that, paying for TV license.
Yeah, paying for the BBC. And what's interesting about that is that the stats show that in the UK, an adult over the age of 25 spends around 3 hours per day watching TV. Okay, which makes you think, it might sound like, oh yeah, it's just 3 hours. But what's interesting about that is that that comes with a ton of costs. Because if you think about it, say you're spending, so there's monetary aspects. Number one is the actual money it's costing, right? So let's say you're spending, say, I think the average was about £65 per month is what people spend across their various TV packages. And then if you think about that, that monetary aspect by itself has a huge implication. So say you were not paying that, and let's just imagine you invested that money at a 7% return. Over, say, 25 years, that works out to be around £51,000 over that period of time, right? So it's the monetary cost. Second, you've got the opportunity cost of that money because you've completely missed out on something else you could be doing with that money potentially in your own life, okay? Then there's the time, okay? So you're spending all this time essentially just staring at the television and doing nothing, like, watching these shows, but being completely unproductive, and a lot of us want to move forward in our lives financially or in various aspects. But the thing is, most people don't know that that time that they're spending watching TV is actually where the nugget is for them to move forward in other aspects of their lives. And I remember doing this. Remember when I did the audit, I used this app and essentially timed and tracked what I was spending my time on for an entire month.
Yeah.
I revealed to myself that I really had the time to do other things. A lot of time to do other things. That's really important. And tied to the point on time is, think about it. So if you're spending on average 3 hours a day watching TV, and we think that's actually nothing, think about that over the next 25 years. It actually works out to be 3 years of your life spent watching TV in 25 years, which is about 12%. So you ask yourself, am I willing to commit 12% of my life over the next 25 years watching television when I could be having kind of huge impact in the world or doing something a lot more interesting? Which is because we don't really think about TV that way, do we? We just think of the now, I'm just watching TV. But if you almost thought about it into the future, almost kind of extrapolate, I'm getting geeky here, but if you actually did that, it just changes your perspective really on this activity that's just TV essentially. Right?
Yeah.
And the third point is a more subtle one actually, which is about creativity. Okay, do you want to touch on that point?
So yeah, creativity is a bit like a muscle.
Yeah.
So you're not really exercising it when you're just constantly watching TV. It's you're essentially kind of like dumbing yourself down. I mean, yeah, you could be watching, educational shows and stuff, but really that part of your brain where you just exercise that creativity does get dumbed down or does get kind of suppressed when you watch a lot of TV.
Yeah, so the point is that you're not stopping entirely your TV consumption.
No, it's just in moderation.
You're essentially asking yourself, right? Should I be spending how much time am I spending on TV? And should I be spending this much time on TV? And if I'm not spending this time on TV, what else should I be doing with my time? And the other piece about creativity is actually tied to that is imagination. Because if you moved your time away from the television onto, say, reading books help to expand your imagination. And your ability to solve problems because you've improved your ability to imagine. Okay, so guys, the next one's phone upgrades. This one kind of gets to me actually because there's this assumption, and I think it's the language that the phone companies use, and they say to you, hey, Mary, you're due an upgrade.
I don't want one.
I know.
I don't need one. Thank you.
But that's the point. Is that the phone companies say you are due an upgrade, right?
Psychological.
And it's very psychological because it's almost like a gift, right? It's like you are due something. Come and take what you're due.
Why you always lying?
And it's funny. There's a story tied to this actually. I was speaking to one of my uncles recently, and he was saying to me, "Oh, I'm due for an upgrade. I'm going to go and get my upgrade." And I looked at his phone and said, but uncle, your phone looks completely fine. He said, no, but they told me I need an upgrade, so I'm going to go and get my upgrade. The thing that transpired was he didn't actually know that upgrades were optional.
Wow.
Right? So you and I might think, hang on, that's the standard. Everyone knows, right? But no, not everybody knows this. So upgrades are one of those things where you just feel they have to get the next thing. The next iPhone comes out. The next Android phone comes up, people feel they have to upgrade to the next thing. When in actual fact, they should really, for us, to say what we do, we just stick to, it's got to be at least 2 generations behind, right? At least, right? Yours is, and we'll show Mary's phone in a second, right? So, completely battered. Actually, no, we'll show you in a minute. It's got to be at least two generations before, and we have a rule. We kind of aim for at least 3 years of the life of a phone, at least, right? Yeah. Do you want to show them your phone? It's slightly embarrassing. Before,
guys, I don't know if they're ready for this. I don't know if the world's
ready.
No,
I think these guys are ready. I think we should show them. Right?
All right. So this is my phone.
So this is the back of it. It looks iPhone 6. Looks good. Yeah. I think. Go flip the phone around.
I don't know if you can see.
Yeah. You might be able to see that. But this phone, I reckon this phone's been to hell and back.
I've had this for 4 years, to be fair, so I've actually done very well. I'm really overdue an upgrade.
Yeah.
So guys, let me know, what phone do you think I should get next? Put it in the comments below. I really want another iPhone, but I'm not going to get the latest one. No,
we don't do that.
But I definitely want another iPhone.
Yeah, it's got to be iPhone 7 maybe. I don't know.
8.
Maybe, okay, whatever. But the point here is a serious, we're joking, right? Serious point is, these upgrades are not gifts to you. They're just options, right? And I think we need to just ask ourselves, what's the economic cost of getting an upgrade? We geek out. I use an Excel sheet, right? And I look at... I look at what this is actually costing us and what it will cost us in the future. And so I think we kind of need to ask these questions. We shouldn't just make the phone call or get online and just click upgrade and that's it, because we think we can afford it. This phone upgrade is actually connected to our life goals. So, what role is that phone playing in your life, and what should you really be paying for a phone? I think is the point, right?
Yeah, I guess the point is that if you are due an upgrade but you really don't need it because it's functioning well, just don't get it. There's an option for SIM only, right?
There's that as well.
It reduces the cost of your monthly payments.
Yeah.
But obviously, don't let it get this bad.
Do
not let it get this bad.
This is extreme.
Terrible.
And our kids...
They've battered it.
Yeah, our kids have played a role as well in this. So it's not just Mary kind of dropping her phone.
Yeah, Ken had a role to play there. Well, you dropped it a few times yourself.
Did I?
Yeah, anyway. It's fine.
All right. So the next one's excessive holidays. Now, we're kind of guilty about this because we travel quite a lot, right? We're a lot more intentional about the holidays, right? Yes. So we collect points. So we've just been to St. Lucia, for example. And that trip we started planning 2 years ago, knowing that we needed 2 companion vouchers. And so we collected these Avios points. And so we got our BA flights. You and I got our BA flights for free, but our kids had to pay for their flights. So the point about this is, we're of the millennial generation. I don't know what generation you are, but millennials are essentially known for their experiences. So it might seem like traveling is the thing you should be doing, because it's what everybody's doing, right? But it's just very important to really ask yourself, well, how many holidays am I doing per year? And am I really able to afford those? And could I budget for them? Because that's the other thing we're doing. We're doing really well, actually, is actually budgeting for these and making sure that our holidays fit the budget rather than the other way around. Yeah.
Do you want to make a point about how our tickets were free?
Yeah. Okay. So essentially, because you got the Avios points, we collected Avios points using American Express. I'll put a link to it below for you to check out. And when you collect these points, you've got to spend on one card about £10,000. And we use, say, family members. You can collect Avios points through friend referrals and so on. Put all your expenses through, provided, obviously, you can pay off the card immediately. By doing that, you collect these Avios points, which you then use to book your flights via British Airways, which is what we've been using more recently. Yeah. By doing that, you get your flights for free. But you pay taxes, though. That's the thing to make sure we mention, isn't it?
But it's still a saving.
Yeah, but it's a massive saving, huge. I mean, we save like quite a few £1,000s going to the Caribbean and back. So yeah, it's definitely worth doing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're filming this in October, right? We know that without a doubt, in 2 months, in December, people are going to be thinking about their New Year resolutions and going to start getting themselves really excited and dusting off those old goals that they never achieved in the current year. And one of them, without a doubt, would be to become fitter. And so most people go and sign up for gym memberships, to which most of them don't use at all.
And the gym, they know this. They know that people will be setting their goals and the New Year's resolutions. So they'll have all these nice packages that will try and lure you in. Come for free.
Amazing perks.
A trial kind of thing to just gradually get you in there.
And it's funny because one of my really good friends, and he might be watching this actually, he told me that, he just said it in passing. He said to me, yeah, we love you. He said to me, he was paying for 2 gym memberships. So one was like a gentleman's club, right, which has like a swimming pool and what have you. And the other was like a family gym. So both of them really, really expensive. But this guy is an executive and he's very busy and he's working, but he was not attending the gym memberships at all. So in a month, he's paying hundreds of pounds out, but without anything happening. And I'm sure he's not alone. There'll be a ton of people out there.
Of course.
So the question is for you is, are you paying for a gym membership? And if you are, how many times are you going per week? I reckon it's got to be at least...
Twice?
Yeah, twice, right? It's got to be at least... If you're going 2 times a week...
Or once, consistently.
Yeah, I'd probably push for twice. Yeah. I reckon if you went once or twice, there might be a case for keeping the gym membership. Mm-hmm. Alternatively, do what we do sometimes. Like, I do walking. Like, I do a ton of walking. You could do home exercises. Why are you spending that money if you aren't really getting the benefit? I think that's really the point we're trying to make here, isn't it?
Yeah, if you're going and you're hitting the gym 2 times a week, making it happen, then you're getting value for your money. But if you're paying for it and you're really not attending, then don't. That's the point we're making.
That's it.
So guys, the next one is expensive cars.
Oh, yes. That's we're laughing, right? Because we, at some point, used to drive a really expensive car. It's an Audi, right? It's a German car. And I guess a good way to kind of segment expensive cars is kind of look at who the manufacturers are. So if you're driving a German car, I'd probably say you drive an expensive car, right? So I'm talking here your Mercedes, your Porsches, your Audis, your BMWs, all those cars, right? And the question here is why are you driving that car, right? And most of us struggle to admit that the reason we drive it is because it gives us a particular status, right? And if you're chasing status, then there's a bit of a problem because it means that, you're likely kind of following the Joneses, right? That's what tends to happen, although most of us don't admit this. But the real cost of driving a car really comes down to the initial cost of you purchasing that car and the depreciation over time. In fact, cars, in addition to another point we're going to talk about in a minute, takeaways, cars are one of the ways in which most people kind of deplete their wealth because essentially you're investing in an asset that's just falling in value over time. So where possible, buy second-hand, buy a fairly old car where possible, something reliable, or buy electric.
Hey!
Yeah. So we drive a 2013 electric car. So it had to be a few years old when we bought it. I bought it below 10 grand. And it's just been the most amazing thing, pretty much that we've had as far as cars are concerned. So guys, we're going to talk about takeaways next. So you probably know this is coming, right? The thing about takeaways is that I don't think most people do one takeaway a week. So I think you're either the person who does takeaways and you probably do maybe 2 or 3 takeaways a week, or you're the person who just doesn't do takeaways at all, or maybe does takeaways maybe once every 2 weeks, right? So I think most people probably fall into the camp of they do takeaways maybe 2 or 3 times a week, right? I think, right? But the thing about takeaways is that they're a very easy way to kind of deplete money, without you even kind of keeping up with a budget. right? It's so easy to do this. I mean, what are alternative ways for people to kind of save money in this area?
Right, so instead of takeaways, guys, I guess it's just planning ahead.
Yes.
So doing a lot of meal preps on the weekends. If you don't like cooking, just literally batch cook the lot. So just the way we say to shop in bulk, cook in bulk. Get your big pot and just cook loads of different meals, freeze them. And so those evenings when you just cannot be bothered to cook, just whack it out of the freezer, defrost it and eat it.
There you go.
And if you absolutely did not have any food, then you've got the pizza options that you can buy from the shops. Yes, it's not as healthy.
You can buy healthy ones,
You can buy healthy ones, healthy pizzas, throw them in the oven. It's healthier and it even tastes nicer than the greasy pizzas that you'll buy from the takeaway shops.
Yeah. So Mary recently did a post called 27 Meal Prep Ideas for a Happier Life. I'm going to put a link to it below so you can check it out. These are really good 30-minute meal prep ideas that you can cook. You can batch cook via kind of meal planning and meal prepping. Say on a Sunday, for example, for the week ahead. Okay, and they will offer you really good ways to eat something really healthy on a budget, but without taking up a ton of your time.
Yeah. So please, check it out, guys.
This is a really tiny point, and the point is about buying juices. Now you might think, juices, like who cares? It's only like £1.50 a juice or £1 a juice. But the thing is, it adds up. I don't know if you've been to the supermarket and kind of looked at what people buy, right? Look at people shopping, get a bit nosy and have a look. And you see people pile on a ton of juices. They buy a ton of juices, then they buy a ton of alcohol, okay? Now the juices really add up. For us, we used to buy juices quite a lot.
Yeah.
You know, we used to spend quite a fair bit of money on buying like apple, orange, mango. Then the shops have these amazing things where they say buy 3 for 2.
Yeah.
Right. So you're like, okay, I've got 2 apples and orange, and okay, I want a mango juice as well. Then it starts to add up. Before you know it, you've spent 5 to 10% of your family budget on drinks, right? When in actual fact, what's actually a lot healthier, and this might sound really cheap, it's just to drink water, okay? We buy bottles of water or we just drink tap water. Okay, sometimes we buy, sometimes we don't.
Boil.
Sometimes we boil water and just have that.
We're cutting out the bottled water and sticking to, we need to get those filters, don't we, babe? Yeah,
we haven't done that yet. But the point here is this, water is actually a really good alternative to juices. And you'd be amazed, really, if you kind of looked at your family budget and looked at how much you spent on juices and thought about extracting that away from that budget, and you find that you'd be saving quite a fair bit of money. And this is an easy way. You can do that like literally today.
Do you know, I know some people that they don't like the taste of water. Like they have to have flavour. Yeah, there are people like that. So guys, if you fall in that camp, then definitely there's some things you could slice some lime or some lemon, add a touch of maybe honey or, you know, syrup, and you can have like a bit ginger as well. Just add some flavour to your water. Infused like berries, some people do that. You can put some berries in your water.
That just sounds like too much effort for me.
No, just chuck it in, babe. It's literally not. It just is not as much work as it sounds. Just chuck the fruits in and infused fruity water.
You got options.
So the next one is retail therapy. So
the thing about retail therapy is that it's not necessarily that people just go from work and just go to the shops and just buy whatever they want without planning for it or budgeting for it. It's actually more that there's usually an underlying issue that people are not addressing, okay? This might be loneliness, it might be depression, it might be all kinds of things. These are usually the things that cause people to kind of live, you know, kind of feel that they need to shop impulsively to keep themselves happy. It's a much more difficult point, I think, because it's about people growing in some form of self-awareness, or maybe you know, seeking some form of help really to kind of tackle the underlying issue, which then hopefully should then tackle the issue of just, you know, needing retail therapy or impulsive buying and stuff like that, isn't it?
Yeah, totally agree.
The final one is skincare products and kind of beauty products and everyday products that we use and we feel we must pay for. There are bits of things that we can actually stop paying for, or we can actually make from home using everyday products. Okay, so you're gonna just tell us a bit more about those.
Yeah, so things like, hair conditioners. Conditioners can be quite expensive. Okay, the cheaper ones are probably not so good for your hair, but you can make your own like really, really deep conditioners from all everyday items that are in your kitchen. Things that you eat, you'd be surprised that I can put some links below for some recipes if you'll find that useful. Another thing is deodorants. So yeah, Ken is on the fence with this.
Yeah, I'm kind of skeptical because anyway, you've made these deodorants and Mary refuses to use like the everyday deodorants that most people use. She makes her own and she uses them.
I make my own deodorants, so it's not an anti-perspirant, so you will still sweat a bit. So it might not be so good in the summer, but in the winter it's perfect. And it's literally, I make it using everyday items in my kitchen. And there's no chemicals in it, no harsh chemicals, nothing that you can't even pronounce. It's good for your skin. And it's just healthy products that you're putting on your... Why would you want to use all these harsh chemicals? I think if you realised what you were putting on your body, you wouldn't use it. The whole point of it being an antiperspirant is not good because you are naturally supposed to sweat.
This one's a difficult one for me because I'm just so used to using my deodorant spray, right? And so it's interesting, I'm being challenged by this myself. This goes beyond just not spending money. It's actually a healthy point, really. So to have my wife actually kind of trying to get me on board is actually quite a big thing because I'm really on the fence with it. I'm kind of not sure if I want to do it, but it's an interesting point nonetheless to mention because Mary has taken that idea beyond just kind of deodorants. She makes her own hair products. She makes lots and lots of things using everyday products, and that's really helped us save quite a fair bit of money over time because she's just not having to go to the shop on autopilot to just buy quite expensive products.
They last so long as well.
Yeah. Guys, I hope you found that video really useful. I'd love to know which of those ideas you thought you could actually implement today. Like literally, which of those could you think, well, do you know what? I think these guys have made a really good point. I'm going to stop paying for this today because of X, Y, and Z. Please let us know in the comments. I'd also love to know which of those you challenge. It makes for good kind of debate. Let us know in the comments which of those you kind of think, I'm not quite sure because of X, Y, and Z. Just let us know in the comments as well. Thank you so much for watching. It's been fun making this video
Thanks for watching,
Mary.
Guys.
We really appreciate you watching. Please subscribe if you're new to this channel. Make sure you hit that notifications button because we publish content every Tuesday and Thursday in order to help you work towards a dream life of financial independence. We appreciate you guys and we'll see you soon on our next video.
All right,
bye for now.
Guys. Bye. What's the next point?
Next point. All right, let's soldier on. Takeaways. Phone upgrades.
Oh my gosh!
Oh, come on. You're just overreacting. Like, I wasn't even that loud.
Oh my gosh, wow.
All right, let's.
Whew.
Are you ready?
Yeah.